here with Mike. Unfortunately, first loss of the season for you. Comes in a cup. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I mean, we set out today, not that I wasn't taking the cup seriously, but we set out with a couple of objectives, and the result really wasn't one of them. As I think we sort of touched on last week, we've been working on a few things. And we wanted to see that out today, and for large parts of it, it worked, and it worked really well. And look, another day, I think we probably score, but I think by and large they sort of fought enough for the to hold on to the lead, so they probably deserved it.
Yeah, I think they took their goal when it come. I know it was from a free kick, and we probably should have done better, but they took it. And then the second half, I feel as if it was just all of us really, and we didn't calm down at times, like I just said to you a minute ago. But what was your whole thoughts of the first half when we hit the bar, we hit the post, and we hit the keeper? Reflections on the first half when we go into the second half.
Yeah, I mean the keeper's made two or three great saves in that first half, in fairness to him. But we played some really good football. I think the first 5-10 minutes we sort of sussed them out and tried to make sure we had the shape and we were winning our battles. And then I think from there we played some really good football. We really moved it about well. Hit it into the channels when it was on. I think we moved well into the middle. We moved through the thirds well. But then I think because they weren't pressing us and they weren't showing any intensity, we just dropped massively for the last 10-15 minutes and stepped off and started taking 2 or 3 touches more than we should have done, started moving the ball slower, and we just looked very, very lethargic and lazy in that last 10, maybe 15 minutes of the first half. And then that's where the goal came from, and I felt the goal was sort of typified what we'd been doing. We gave away a sloppy free kick, we then didn't win a header that we should have won, we then put under pressure into the box, didn't win the tackle well enough, gave away a free kick, and the guy floats in an average ball that just bounces into the corner. And I sort of felt that all came from the attitude that we just showed in that last 15 minutes of that first half.
Half time, you laid in a little bit, you told them what you thought. I was there. And then did they react the way you wanted them to?
Yeah, by and large, overall, I'm pleased with how the game's gone. I'm pleased with the second half. I'm pleased that we showed some sort of desire and we tried to carry on playing how we'd been talking about and what we'd been working on. I think the subs came on and sort of changed it a bit as well and gave us a little bit more composure, a little bit more energy. And we tried, we're almost doing a bit of a pre-season thing where we're forcing the play somewhat in certain areas, which is fine because that's what we've talked about. But I'm disappointed with the 15 minutes in the first half, because I think that's been something that's crept in here and there into our game over the course of the season so far. So look, I'm pleased that it's happened in a cup game. I'm pleased that it's happened now, and it's something that we can address, but it is something that needs to change now.
Tom was the man of the match today. The players gave it to him in the dressing room. What do you think of Tom? He's been training with us for a bit of time now. I know he's with us in pre-season. What are your thoughts on Tom?
Yeah, I've bought him on loads, to be honest. He's a very good player. He came in and played right back for us in a pre-season game and was very, very solid. I think I nicknamed him Gary Neville. Very, very solid. But he's been playing for the reserves in that holding role, and I just felt with the way we want to play and what we're looking to do at the moment, I wanted to see maybe a bit more of a ball playing centre midfielder in there, and it was a perfect opportunity for him. He's been training really well. I know he's been playing superbly for the reserves, and he's come in and fully deserved his man of the match performance. And to be honest, I was just talking to Stu from the reserves, and I said he's come in and just done what we've asked him to do. To a T, so I can't fault him, and he fully deserves his man of the match. And unfortunately for the reserves, I'll probably be looking at him quite a lot more in the future.
Ouch. Are you going to send them any players?
I could probably send them 5 or 6 at the moment, but I don't know whether they'd want them. So,
talking about the boys, do you feel like a few of the players were hiding in that game, or with the things that are going on? And it did look like a lot of the things you've been implementing are working, but do you feel like a few of the boys were hiding a little bit at times?
I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't think hiding's the right word. I think we've got a problem at the moment. If we play a good side, or we play a side that shows a bit of intensity and comes onto us, then I think we're very, very comfortable, and we can deal with that well, and we'll maintain the levels, and we'll make sure that we're matching the opposition. I think our problem at the moment is that we're maybe complacency is a better word, maybe that we think it's too easy, it's too comfortable, but it's not, as we saw today. Crockenhill came and fought for everything and probably deserved the win, to be honest. So if we're not at 100%, 110%, like I say, every week, then we will get found out. And I think that's what some of them need to realise very, very quickly.
Just the last one on the ref. How would you rate the ref today? I know we don't normally talk about refs, but I personally looked at that referee today, and I feel he was giving some soft fouls, and he wasn't giving the right kind of free kicks. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think he impacted the game at all. It was. I thought he was pretty solid overall. There was a couple of weird decisions both ways. Maybe I felt George was very, very unlucky to get booked, especially after a few minutes before he'd had the ball booted at him. A good 4 or 5 seconds after the free kick. But unfortunately for me, the ref's the least of my concerns at the moment. So look, it's. We've talked about it being a work in progress. We've talked about the guys trying to take everything on. They are trying to learn, and we are trying to implement stuff. There was large parts of today's game that were very, very good. I think it's maybe a bit more of a mental thing and a bit more of an attitude thing that we need to work on, and that's down to me and Dom to get the best out of it.
Last thing, what is your plan for next week then? Obviously, you say you've got 1 or 2 things to work on. What are the main things you're going to take into next week?
More of the same today. The positives today were we did try to play out from the back. We were trying to force the pass rather than going long aimlessly. And I don't mind the long ball if it's the right ball. I want us to be showing and having options, and I think that's what we did well in spells today. But I think the big thing for me is we need to see a reaction in terms of attitude, and if we think we're better than an opposition side, we need to show that in the opening 45 minutes and be ruthless and be clinical, and we need to dominate games from start to finish and not have spells where we're dropping off, because at the moment when we drop off, sides are punishing us with a goal. So I think we'll get the boys in on Wednesday night, and we'll be focusing heavily on the attitude and our mentality towards games.
Unfortunately, it wasn't our day today. Even though we hit the bar maybe 4 or 5 times, we've hit the post. Keeper's made some fantastic days on. The keeper was good. I'd probably give him the man of the match, but it's unfortunate today, Mike. Unlucky.
On a Tennessee Sunday morning, how I long to be there. For Marie who's waiting for me has been on the highway. Venus half as pretty as where my baby's at. It's just a way to Amarillo. Every night I've been hugging my pillow. Sweet dreams of Amarillo. And sweet Marie waits for me.